Mattress Firm, we make sleep easy.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask, but he's not going to. Only pay for...
I have a hard time celebrating my achievements because in my mind, it was my obligation to achieve it.
Ugh.
He has a hard time, and I have a hard time celebrating our achievements because in his mind, he was obligated to achieve it. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to say, only you know. He had a difficulty about the achievements because in his mind he was obligated to achieve it. If you have the dream, if you have the vision, if you have the go-to mentality, don't stop. Don't stop making contents, doing cold outbound, warm outbound, outreach, some type of outreach. Because once you achieve the achievement, because he was obligated to achieve it, means that he is the only obligation to where you see fit. He is the only one and only person that can achieve it, which means only him and his competitors can lock in. So just think about that for a second. That was a good intro, Chris. And if Chris and Michelle Smoak are listening to this, hopefully that they enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, leave a like and save to come back to this video. Subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I post. And let's get this show on the road. I'm going to try to get through 1 hour. We'll see where it leads.
The dilemma of the high achiever. I know you don't struggle with this at all, right? I know this truly.
Game recognizes game, as they say.
Yes, all from a place of deep wounds and the desire to be adequate and enough. Yeah, I have a hard time celebrating my achievements and wins because it was in my mind. In my mind, it was my obligation to achieve them. And not only that, I think the group of people we hang out with, you hang out with, I hang out with, makes the exceptional seem extremely normal.
So, you have standards, you have exceptions, and you have friends. Let's start off with the exceptions. Exceptions and intentions. That's what I meant to say. Exceptions, intentions, and friends. I'll touch up on exceptions. The way I look at exceptions is that it comes from our very own way to achieve it, our very own understanding to make it the best that we can possibly make it. And being an exception means you are an exception, means you are waiting to get the results that have not given to you. So that was the exception part. Intentions. Whatever you are intentionally making it a habit, making it a trial, making it an error, we are all trying to expect and intent whatever it is we choose to desire. Okay? Then it's desires that come into a factor. Desire is wanting one thing and knowing that you will commit everything to that desire, to that understanding, to that mental, to that self-improvement. Because you know you can make it better, because you are willing to give up the cat and the gown, because you are doing what nobody else will follow.
I was having a conversation the other day with a friend who both of us had long runs, and I was running 16, he was running 20. And there was a time a couple of years ago where you couldn't have paid me thousands of dollars to do anything but drive 16 miles. And the fact of the matter is the average person thinks that's crazy. And there was a time where I was extremely proud of that. I remember running my first 10 miles. I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing. It was sunny. We were in Atlanta on the Beltline. And I remember when it hit 10 and I hit stop on the Apple Watch and I went, holy shit, I just ran 10 miles. And then now it's just a normal. And the carrot keeps moving for the high achiever. So I think the battle has now become learning to be content in the things that we achieve.
Learning to become content within the things we achieve. Nobody sees the dream. Nobody sees the goal. Nobody sees that understanding. Nobody sees that frame because the only person that has shown it to you is yourself and a higher power. And when you devote yourself to that ideal of what it is you're trying to achieve, or whatever that higher power is, when you become content to a certain point, to a certain strength, to a certain period of your time, the only way you can become content is doing the things, doing the hard work, doing that understanding, doing that framework, because you know you are achieving more than what needs to be done today. So just think about that. Let's continue. Just to think about that for a second.
You know, this was a goal of mine. Sitting down with you and being on this podcast. I've listened to it for years, and it's incredible to be in it with you right now. It's truly an honor because you can interview anybody in the world, and yet here I sit. And so what is the line between sitting in the pride and the humility and the graciousness and gratitude of the achievement and then moving the needle? I think you alluded to this in an episode you did a while ago, talking about how you forgot to celebrate the wins along the way, which led to an inevitable case of burnout.
Not being able to accept the wins, knowing that it's a stepping stone, knowing that it is a mindset or a mentality point, and then it leads to burnout, which burnout, in my definition, you know what burnout is. I'll just give you a summary of what I think burnout is. Burnout is doing the thing and then giving up, quitting, not putting the pressure on the gas pedal where you know that you are trying to achieve. Within business, within entrepreneurship, within content, within school, within anything that you do, there will be burnout, and there will be days where you don't want to get up and do the fucking thing, which means you have to do the fucking thing, which means nobody else will stop you to do the fucking thing, which means nobody is stopping you. The only person that is stopping you is you. So do the hard work. Do the mental checklists. So let's go. Oh, sorry, I wanted to add on to burnout. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, whatever it is you're trying to struggle with, there will be a period of burnout where you don't want to do the thing where it needs to get done.
And when we were here at the podcast, at the 4-Way podcast the other day with Sean and George, we talked about the importance of romanticizing every single thing in your life. So that way, when the big achievement comes, it doesn't feel like an obligation. It feels like a victory, and you can truly sit in it before you move on to the next thing.
It's strange, yeah. I think people that have high standards assume that they should always win. They should always succeed. And that turns success from a cause for celebration into the minimum level of acceptable performance. Like, success simply becomes what's expected of you, and anything less than success would be a failure. And yeah, it's the habituation that we see, hedonic adaptation. People talk about it for, you buy a new car and it's all exciting, and then pretty quickly you get used to it. You move into a new house and you're thinking about it for so long, and you were looking on Zoopla and Rightmove and you were comparing it, and this is what we're... And then it's just the place that you put your shoes at the end of the day after a while. But a much more sort of pernicious place for this is in personal growth. It's in your own capacity. So previously, your old people...
Yeah. What? No, I'm just recording. Why, what are you guys up to? Where are you guys going? Oh, I forgot it's Sunday. It should be a nice night for that. Not too cold, not too hot, right? It's still raining. Let me know. Just let me know when you guys leave. Yeah, you can leave the door open. Yeah. Yeah. That was my plan. Okay. Sounds good. I'll keep it cracked. Your own capacity. Okay? Just think about it. You have this much, however much in the tank to do the things now. To do the mental capacity to where it was needed, to where it should be done. It needs to get done now. Because if it doesn't, it will never get done. Okay? We have our own capacities. We have our own standards. We have our own deviations. We have our own habits. We have our own patterns. But don't allow the criticism, the haters, to change your standard, to change your understanding, to change your perspective, to change your thoughts and actions, to do something that you are afraid of. When you are afraid, that is when you go. That is when you do. Because if there's no fear involved, then that means you are not enjoying anything and everything within your power.
That you celebrated at the time is...
Well, I stopped recording and then now we're here. So, apologies, we missed like 5 minutes. I did a very good 5-minute take on what the fuck they were talking about, and I wasn't even fucking recording. Now I go on pause again, so I'll see you guys in a sec. I'm so pissed off at myself right now because I made a very good edit and it just decided to fuck my life over. Which is just fan-fucking-tabless, which means I wasted 5 minutes of my time and 30 seconds of the podcast time. Which is depressing as fuck. As fuck. So, let's get this show on the road.
And I chose to just listen to people like you, people like Jim Carrey, who say, I pray that everyone gets rich and famous and has everything they ever want so they can realize it's not the answer. And a lot of people go, okay, great, but let me just do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to the hedonic treadmill and then they get to the end of their rope. There is no end.
There is no fucking end. There's an end of your fucking life. That's the end. But there is no fucking end. You will try. You will fail. You will try again. And you will fail some more. Which means once you do everything and anything in your power to make sure that there is no means to a fucking end. Let me drink some water. And what I mean by that is when there is no light at the end of the tunnel, there is no light at the end of the bridge.
Right? The goal is not money. It's not status. It's not even...
So my goal, my main fucking goal is that if I don't make it big as a content creator, if I don't make $1,500 per month on school, my goal is to become a Minnesota State Patrol. With no room for error. No room for error. And I'm going to AA for the next 3 years. So it'll make my cause better for myself. Better for other people.
Which is something...
Which means there is no means to a fucking end. There was no ending at the end of the cliffhanger. The only thing that the cliffhanger has is making you string attach more and more bullshit to your fucking life, to your fucking story, which means one thing and one thing only. That at the end of the line, there is no end of the story. And where there's no end of the line and the end of a story, there is no passion. There is no future. There is no pain. And there's all the glory. Let's get this show on a fucking road.
I speak on a lot. For me, the goal of authenticity is the byproduct of that. The goal is, in my opinion, to stay tapped into inspiration and deeper levels of inspiration. And there are things that always get in the way. Well, I want more money, or I get an idea and I want to act on that idea. But I just chose to listen to you guys talking about how you get everything you want and then you realize it's not the answer. Why would I then go, yeah, but screw what they said, I'm just going to do it anyway so I can be in the same state of not suffering, but mild discomfort when I realize I didn't get what I truly wanted. And so with the Alexander the Great quote, where he realizes how minuscule he is and he weeps over that, maybe there's value in realizing how minuscule we are and being grateful and how...
Maybe there is value in realizing how minuscule we are and being grateful. Within the great, there is no passion. There is no pain. There is no fucking sacrifice. And if sacrifices need to be fucking made, then that means that sacrifices need to be fucking made. Do the thing. Destroy the thing. Kill at it. Be the best version of yourself, because if not, what are you striving for? What are you trying to achieve? Okay? So just think about that for one fucking second.
Minuscule we are, because then all we have to worry about is, and this is where my faith comes in, just being a servant. For me, I feel fulfilled if I'm serving others. And that's a really broad mission that can look a lot of different ways. It can be saying hello to Gerard, the guy I crossed the crosswalk with today outside of my building. It can be asking the barista how their day is going. It can be putting on a podcast that a whole lot of people are going to see with the intent of delivering a message that might make one of their lives better. If I just say, how can I serve someone today? Then that's fulfillment. And Tony Robbins.
You know what? I'm just going to end it there. So like and save, and we'll come back to this video. I already know it's going to take a fat minute. So, peace.